Good morning, and welcome fellow YouTube travelers. I'm Baronen, and I'm on a mission to learn art. A few weeks ago I posted a video where I painted a stapler as an item in League of Legends. And this video is by far my most popular one so far, so thank you so much for watching my stuff, and if you haven't seen it, I've linked it up here in the corner. On this video I also got some good feedback on how to improve the illustrations. So for this one, I will try to apply some of the things I learned from the last time and paint even more items. The main thing I take away from the comments I got is that I didn't think about the contrast with the item against the background. So if we look at the items with a black and white filter over it, it is kind of hard to see the edges of the item. This is because there is low contrast in value between the item and the background. And this is something that I will focus on getting right this time. So let's get into it. When deciding what to paint, I took a long, good look at the items that are in League right now, and tried to figure out what kind of items were missing. In the beginning, I felt like there was everything. There are swords, hats, bows, helmets, shields, whatever this thing is, and even a sleigh. But what the item roster is missing is a shovel. So I gathered reference for shovels and got to it. I tried to convey that the shovel was actively being used to shovel some dirt in the image. When I was somewhat happy with the lines, I started to fill in the main areas of color, stealing everything from the references I had of League items. When all the main colors were in the right places, I painted rough highlights and shadows to see how I liked it, and I also sketched a background to make sure that the item would stand out. And this is what it looked like at that halfway step. It's not that beautiful, but it isn't done yet. This is what it looks like in black and white, and I think it stands out pretty clearly against the background so far, at least compared to the last ones I did. When I was at this point, it was basically just a matter of smoothing out the gradients and cleaning up the edges. When I was done with the rendering of the shovel head, I felt like it was missing some details, so I decided to add this maze pattern to give it some more visual interest. And when that was done, I had to fix the background to sell the effect of the scooping shovel and also paint the blob of dirt. And now it is time for the big reveal. First out is the shovel hidden amongst the other items. What do you think? And now the item on the champion that I think should have it. The nominees for the Shovel Award are Thalia the Stoneweaver, Rek'Sai the Void Burrower, and Skarner the Primordial Sovereign. And the award goes to Rek'Sai, so that she can dig her tunnels even faster. Thinking a little bit about what this item should do, I am a firm believer that this item should give you movement speed while you are underground or inside the terrain. So maybe it fits Skarner as well. And it would also be funny if it gave Thalia some bonus as well. Tell me in the comments below what you think the item should do in the game, and also give me some ideas of what the item should be called. And now, on to the next one. Once again, I went back to the thinking board to figure out what the next item should be. And I got an idea that I thought would be cool, kind of fun, and probably totally game breaking. A grappling hook. Going from the thinking board to the drawing board, I started sketching a grappling hook being hurled at someone with its rope curling behind it. Then, using the same method again, I filled in the main areas of color, added rough highlights and shadows, and sketched a background, making sure that the item would stand out against it. And then again, just a matter of smoothing out transitions where needed and cleaning up the edges. And then adding some wood grain to the wood and some rope grain to the rope. For this one, I wanted to make the background more interesting to make it look like the hook was going really fast. To achieve this, I painted arrows that pointed in the direction of travel, which I think did the trick quite nicely, if I say so myself. And with that done, I was happy with leaving it there. But then, the next day I woke up with a feeling that I could do better. So I got to it and I tried to do some changes that I thought would elevate this image to a higher standard. I re-rendered the hooks, darkened the background, and lightened the hook itself to try and make it stand out more. And this is what came out of it. Tell me in the comments down below which one you like more. And now for the second time. The big reveal, hidden amongst the rest of the items. Can you spot it? And the grappling hook award goes to Nautilus, because its anchor was the biggest inspiration to this item. And I think it would be so obnoxious to play against a Nautilus with 2 Qs, because that's definitely what this item should do. It should work exactly as Nautilus Q, although with a slightly smaller hitbox and range. But if you have any better ideas, tell me down below, and I also need some good name suggestions for the item. With that, on to the next one. I found myself once more on my thinking pile of scrapped ideas, when it suddenly struck me, like a bolt of Zeus. You see, in the last video, I showed my tendencies to add teeth to things that shouldn't have it, and when I thought of that, the answer was clear. I should just make an item that is a tooth. And so I did. And it wasn't just going to be any tooth, no. It was going to be a tooth from the Elder Dragon itself. For this one, I started in the same way I did with the other ones. A rough line art followed by blocking it in with the main color. But then, I deviated. I wanted the tooth to have a few different colors, not just one flat beige. So I picked a few different colors from the tooth reference and splattered them on with a textured brush to give the tooth a variation in the local color. After that, I created a multiply layer that I used to shade the tooth so that all the differences in color show through the shading. Then I added this streaking texture along the grain of the tooth. And I also stole this element from the handle of Orcrist, which, as you know, has a handle made out of dragon tooth. With the tooth done, it was just to paint the background. Borrowing colors from the reference I got of the Elder Dragon, I painted flame-like streaks with a direction coming from the tip of the tooth. I went from dark to light colors, painting thinner and thinner streaks to show the concentration of energy where it is the lightest. And there we go. The third and last item done. I give you Elder Dragon's Lucky Tooth. Here it is amongst the other items. and I don't think there is a better fit for this item than Shyvana. I think this item should give some HP, AP, and a bit of movement speed. But the main thing would be a passive that comes with the lucky part of the name. I think it would be so cool if it made every 7th auto attack miss. What do you think? Isn't that a good idea? Tell me in the comments below. And that's it. Here are the items I painted in this video side by side. I hope you enjoyed watching me create these. I thought it was really funny to paint them, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. There are of course some things that I would change, like the first two I didn't think about the contrast of cold and warm colors, so they both kind of blend into the background in that sense, even if there is good value separation from the background. But all in all, I think they look pretty cool. Here is a comparison of the value contrast against the last items I painted, and in this aspect I think I improved a lot. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to let me know that you like this kind of content. It helps out a lot. Thanks again. I think that's all, so see you in the next one. Bye.